It's Darkside Phil's Worst Gaming Trends of 2014. Number 3. The effect of Metacritic on the decisions of the common consumers' buying patterns and the fact that many consumers of video games believe major mainstream media reviews as the Bible truth on new releases. Now, over the years, I've talked about this one a lot. Basically saying that the mainstream gaming media is not a very professional form of media. They don't have much journalistic integrity. They really tend to review games either better or worse because of their own personal moods, because maybe there's some money transacting behind the scenes. There's a lot of things that I've had to say over the years with particular releases such as Halo ODST, the Call of Duty series, etc. However, in the year of 2014, I think I noticed more than any year previously that people would just simply either read a mainstream game review, maybe if a game on release or even before release got a low review score from one of the major media outlets, and immediately say, well, I'm writing this one off, I might have had the game pre-ordered, but this one particular gaming media says it sucks, therefore I'm not going to buy it. Now I can understand, especially in this day and age, everyone's tight on money. Not everyone has a lot. The economy still really hasn't turned around, and we really have to pinch our pennies to decide what it is that we want to buy. But in the particular case of 2014, there was one game that I have to stand up and say, what the hell happened? That game is Murdered Soul Suspect. Now, I'm going to say this. I know that many people will disagree with me. Okay, I know that there's people that when the game came out said that they didn't like it, and that's perfectly fine. If this kind of game isn't your cup of tea, then I can understand if you didn't like it. The bottom line, though, is that there were one or two particular mainstream reviewers who reviewed Murdered Soul Suspect before the game had come out, basically said the game is all about walking around and trying to find hidden journals and little snippets, and it's boring because of that, and the game sucks, and they rated it poorly. After that, it seemed like most gaming media almost had a bandwagon mentality to run this game into the ground, saying the same exact things. Now, I have a question for you, and please take this as a hypothetical with an open mind. If you're going to make a supernatural game about a detective who was murdered and is searching desperately for clues about what happened, why he was murdered, the people involved, what do you think the primary part of gameplay would be in the game? Is it going to be gunplay? Is it going to be, messing with demons? No, it's an investigation game. You should expect that an investigation game is based off of investigating. Yes, walking around, picking up hidden items, hidden journals, getting information out of them, piecing together the mystery. If you approach Murdered Soul Suspect from the perspective of a detective, which is what you're supposed to do, the game actually succeeds on a high level. The problem is people came into this game with such insanely preconceived notions of what they think a good game is that they ripped the game apart, saying that the plot didn't make sense and this and that. I played the game from start to finish. I thought the plot was great. I found very few game bugs. I thought the graphics were actually quite good, especially because I played the next-gen version of the game. I thought, if anything, going around and finding all these hidden logs and hidden items drastically added to the story of the game. I mean, what did they expect? And that's really what I have to ask a lot of these mainstream reviewers these days. When you're reviewing a game, what are you expecting? Maybe you have too many preconceived notions of what a great game should be, and you need to go in more objectively. But, I hate to say it, undoubtedly, so many people, after reading these low initial reviews, came to me and said, Phil, I'm not going to watch you play the game. I heard this game is shit. Why is Phil even spending time on this game? Because I heard it's garbage. The bottom line is, I really enjoyed Murdered Soul Suspect, but the game didn't sell very well. The studio already who had developed it was already kind of falling apart, and because the game ended up selling so poorly, they couldn't make ends meet, and they don't exist anymore. It's a shame, because a game that I really felt had potential, a narrative that was great, a gameplay style that if you know what you're trying to do and if you are expecting the right things when you go into it, could be a great game, got completely ripped apart by mainstream media's reviews, leading to a low Metacritic score, leading to people who didn't do any research about the game saying, bad score, bad game, not gonna buy it, not gonna play it. It's a shame. people really do need to have more of an open mind. Again, when there's less money, it means there's less to go around, and gamers are going to start to be way more skeptical with how they spend their hard-earned dollars. A venture like Murdered Soul Suspect that was a completely different original take on a murder mystery is going to unfortunately be a victim in this kind of a climate. So I liked it. I urge you right now, it's probably bargain basement prices. Check out the game, and please, when you go to Metacritic, when you go to these gaming websites, take what they say with a grain of salt. If you're reading a review and it says the game's mostly detective investigation work, it sucks, but the game's about detective investigation, maybe it's the reviewer that really messed up here and not the game designer, okay? That's all I really have to say. I had to get it off my chest. A lot of people are going to disagree, but there you have it. Coming up next, I think this past year has been one of the worst examples of this. Something that's happened every year undoubtedly, but really this one just left us all with a horrendous taste in our mouths. Come on back and don't miss it.